Hey guys, what's up? So in this particular lesson, we will discuss as to how we can decide optional. Many people are saying it will be removed, but till it is removed, let us continue studying it. Okay, because you never know whether it will be removed or not, or whether you will be removed from the race before the optional gets removed. So focus on the optional. Now, the task of choosing optional is one of the most difficult which people face. If there is no optional, then there is no choice, and if there is no choice, people don't complain. But if there are choices, people complain because choices can always be better, always be worse, especially with the benefit of hindsight. Now, the task of choosing optional, it is the most important task for a UPSC aspirant. It is also the most confusing task for a UPSC aspirant. Like selecting your optional is like choosing your better half. We keep on investing time and money and we keep on falling in love with it. And obviously, you cannot easily part ways with it. For example, if the optional is not working out for you, for example, if you've taken electrical engineering or medical science or geography or PubEd, and every year you do not get marks in it, but still you want to continue with it because you've studied it for so much time. So most of the aspirants, they exhaust all of their attempts with only one selected optional. That is why they are never able to break out of that cycle. So optional basically plays a key role, very important role, not just in selection but also deciding your rank and service allocation. So that is why optional becomes very important. So your service allocation depends on your optional marks. If somebody has scored exceptionally high, then usually these people get like top 10, top 20 ranks, and they end up getting IAS. And even in that, if you have higher marks, you can get the cadre of your choice. Now it is tough to score very high marks in GS papers to cover up the low marks in your optional and compete with the people with other optionals. So that part is very important. And GS marks of most of the people, they fall in basically a band with a gap of few marks. That's all. And optional and essay makes the difference. So that also you can consider. And if you have low marks in your optional, then trust me, you have to have at least average or above average marks, otherwise you will not be able to compete with people. Now there are lots of myths and propagandas which are there in the UPSC market. So it is a common practice in the UPSC market that people will suggest you to opt. Basically what they want you to do is to opt for an optional which is being taken by all. For example, the top of the list I can tell you is public administration and geography. That the half of the people who take these optionals, they take it because most of the people take this optional, which is very stupid. For example, most of the people eat roti, that is why I'll eat roti. That is a stupid logic, right? But still people do it. You should eat roti because you like eating roti. If you like eating rice, if you like eating corn, if you like eating flakes, you should eat that. Now optional, which is supposedly very small syllabus, so this used to happen with Pali optional, but now it is not there. So people used to say that even if you study for 1 month, you can finish it off. It happens to anthropology to a certain extent. Optional, which is in trend in the UPSC Mandi, which is trending in the UPSC Mandis of old Rajendra Nagar, Mukherjee Nagar, that is also there. So these are the various myths and propagandas, but do not believe on anything. Even if it is trending in UPSC, it does not matter. It will actually trend in the UPSC. Now optional which got the maximum selection last year. For example, in top 10, if there are 5 doctors, I think that people will start to take medical science also. I'm just kidding. But that is how the herd mentality is. Let's say 1 to 10 rank, 9 are geography optional. You can rest assured, trust me, that many people will change their optional to geography. Now, a few optional in which toppers scored very high marks like economics or law, then people even tend to start to take these optional as well. So try to avoid such herd mentality. Toppers scored fine. If he was studying medical science for last 20 years, maybe that's why he was scored. You never know, right? You never know the story. Similarly, maybe the selection happened, but you have to see the larger database. In top 10, maybe there are 9 geography, but in top 100, there are only 15 geography. So basically, you need to see the larger database whether it is actually happening or not. And even if there are 15 people from geography, you just need one seat, right? You do not need 15 seat. Now optional, which is being taught by some hotshot teacher in Delhi claiming guaranteed success if you follow him, that is the perfect recipe for disaster. Now optional, which is hot in the rumor market, someone is saying that they have insider information that UPSC is promoting it and giving extra marks in it. This is also a perfect recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, people tend to believe such rumors. Now, things to ask yourself before you pick an optional. Are you finding it interesting and enjoyable? So, this is the first and the foremost thing which anybody should ask themselves. If you're not finding it interesting and enjoyable, then I will say that you should definitely not read it. And at least has to be tolerable, if not very, very enjoyable. Can you study over and over again for 3 to 4 years because you might not get selected in your first or second attempt? Is there enough good study material available in the market for the choose an optional? Okay. Then, if I need coaching or guidance, are there good mentors, teachers which are available online or offline? How popular is the subject, and approximately how many people appear for mains with that particular optional? Can I prepare this optional at home with some online help, or will I need to move to Delhi, Chennai, or Hyderabad? Okay, so these are the things which one need to be like very, very thorough in order and asking. So before you start doing anything, just focus on the strategy. Pick out all the optionals which are available and try to cross them. At the end of the day, you should be left with 4 or 5. Because obviously, if you are, let's say your background is you're a doctor, so there is no way you can take electrical engineering, right? And you should avoid subjects like electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, etc., which are technical subject. So try to repeat this exercise if you are still left with 9 to 10 optionals. And finally, you should have 4 to 5 optionals, and they are looking very attractive. And one of them should be your graduation subject. If it is possible, fine. If it is not possible, then move forward. But the most important criteria for optional selection is if it can be your graduation subject, then make it your optional. For example, medical science in my case. Now check out the latest UPSC notification to know the syllabus. And after analyzing this from 4 to 5, you should be able to go to 2 to 3. And if yes, then you are in a very good position. Now try to find the answers of all the questions that you had asked, whether you enjoy it or not. Do research, talk to seniors, read the blogs of genuine toppers. Okay, they will really help you. And if you loved your graduation subject and if it's on the list, then it's a no-brainer, select it. And if it has few takers, let's say management, etc., then go for it because you'll have very less competition and usually marks given are higher. And generally it is tough to outshine 4,000 to 5,000 aspirants who takes geography or pub all write similar answers. Examiner really get fed up, so it is difficult to impress the examiner in that case. And if you love one particular optional and it covers some portion of GS, you might consider it because then you can have integrated preparation, and you can also read 1 or 2 basic books of selected optional just to know about it more. Finally, your choice will narrow down to one optional, and sometimes people change optional in haste, but I will say at least try 2 to 3 attempts with it. And if you don't like it, then you can just like I said, optional is your wife, treat it with respect and it will love you back. So thank you for watching this lesson.